I'm 32, married, no kids yet, and I live a relatively stable, quiet life with my wife in a small house just outside Minneapolis. I work in IT, she's a nurse. We're not rich, but we're okay. We're planners. We've been saving for a down payment on a bigger place, and we're trying to get pregnant. My sister, Lauren, 36F, is the opposite. She's been chaotic for as long as I can remember. Drugs in high school. Terrible relationships. She's been to rehab twice, jail once for a DUI, and CPS has been in and out of her life ever since she had her first kid at 19. She has 3 kids now, 17M, 9F, and 6M, by 2 different dads, either of whom is in the picture. My parents have always bent over backward for her. Bail money. Babysitting. Letting her move back in. Over and over, she'd promise she was getting it together. And then she wouldn't. I tried to stay supportive. When I was younger, I used to send money, groceries, electric bills, even help fix her car once. But eventually I had to stop. It wasn't just draining financially, it was exhausting emotionally. Every time I helped, it felt like enabling. And every time I said, no, my mom would call me cold or selfish. A year ago, I told Lauren, kindly but firmly, that I love her, but I wasn't going to keep rescuing her. I had to put my future family first. She didn't take it well. We didn't talk much after that. Then, 3 weeks ago, everything blew up. 3 weeks ago, I got a call from my mom. She was crying, not just upset, full-on panicking. "It's Lauren," she said. "They took the kids." CPS had shown up at Lauren's apartment after a neighbor called in a tip. Drugs were found, again, and this time she tested positive during a surprise visit. The state had finally had enough. They removed all 3 kids that same day. I was stunned. And honestly, I wasn't even surprised. Just heartbroken. My mom begged me to come to her house, said the social worker was there and needed to place the kids immediately. Apparently, since Lauren didn't name any suitable guardians, the state reached out to immediate family. My parents were too old, both in their 70s, on meds, barely mobile, and the state didn't approve them. That left me. The social worker looked tired, like this wasn't her first family meltdown of the day. She explained that unless a family member stepped up, the kids would be split into separate foster homes. Split up. That hit hard. These kids, despite all the chaos, have only ever had each other. But I froze. The kids would need separate rooms. They'd need school enrollment, therapy, support. The youngest 2 have behavioral issues. I thought about my wife, our tiny 2-bedroom, our savings, our plans to start a family. I thought about how Lauren had burned every bridge. And then I said, "I'm sorry. I can't take them." The room went silent. My mom started sobbing again. The social worker nodded like she'd seen it all before. And my dad, usually quiet, looked at me like I'd just confessed to a murder. That night I told my wife everything. She understood. But neither of us slept well. And then the real fallout began. The calls started the next morning. First it was my mom. "How could you? They're your niece and nephews. Blood." Then my dad. "You're turning your back on family. On kids." Then Lauren herself. She called from whatever shelter or facility she was in. Her voice was hoarse, her words slurred but sharp. "You think you're so much better than me," she hissed. "Well, guess what? You're not. You're just a coward hiding behind your perfect little wife." I wanted to scream. Instead, I hung up. Then came the group chat, yes, the family group chat. Messages from cousins, aunts, people I hadn't heard from in months. "You're seriously letting them go to strangers? If you don't want kids, just say that. Lauren made mistakes, but those kids didn't." I didn't reply to any of them. What could I say that would make them understand that I wasn't heartless, just scared, overwhelmed, human? A few days later, my mom showed up at our house. unannounced. She had tears in her eyes and a printed photo of the 3 kids. She placed it on our coffee table like a silent accusation. She didn't raise her voice. She just said, "When they ask why you didn't come for them, what do I tell them?" That sentence haunts me. I still hear it when the house is quiet. We never asked for this. We didn't cause this. But now we're the ones being treated like villains. And I keep asking myself, did I make the right choice? It's been 3 weeks. No one in my family has spoken to me since that day. Not my mom. Not my dad. Definitely not Lauren. The kids were placed in 2 different foster homes. The youngest 2 went together. The oldest, my 17-year-old nephew Tyler, was sent somewhere else. I don't know where. I haven't had the nerve to ask. I don't know if they're okay. I don't know if they're scared, or angry, or if they think I abandoned them. The silence is heavy. It feels like grief. My wife's been incredible, calm, supportive. But even she's struggling. Every night we sit in our small living room and talk about what we could have done differently. Could we have made it work temporarily? Could we have asked the state for help, for funding? Could we have just said yes and figured it out later? But then I remember the panic I felt in that room, and I can't shake it. This wasn't taking your niece for a weekend. This was, you are now the full-time guardian of 3 traumatized kids, indefinitely. That's not a decision you make on emotion alone. Still, guilt is a persistent voice. It whispers things in the quiet. Tells me I failed them. Tells me I wasn't strong enough. Tells me my wife must be disappointed in me, even though she swears she isn't. And I can't help but wonder. If they had asked her instead of me, would she have said yes? A few nights ago, I had a dream that Tyler, my nephew, was standing at our front door, just staring. No words. Just that look. Not angry. Not sad. Just blank. When I woke up, I was sweating, and I couldn't breathe. I think that's what people don't get. This wasn't about saying no to help. It was saying no to becoming someone else entirely. A dad overnight. To 3 kids with wounds deeper than anything I've dealt with. A life we didn't plan for. A future we didn't build toward. A house not ready. Hearts not ready. I know people say, family steps up. I get it. But where was that same energy when Lauren spiraled the first dozen times? When she crashed at our parents' house, stole from them, disappeared for days? Where was all this urgency when I was begging them to stop enabling her? Now I'm the monster. The selfish one. The one who chose comfort over family. But here's what no one is saying out loud. If I had taken those kids, it wouldn't have been for them. It would have been to stop feeling guilty. And I don't think that's a good enough reason to become someone's parent. Still, I miss them. I love those kids. I still do. I just didn't know how to save them without losing myself in the process. So Reddit. Am I the asshole for saying no when they needed me the most? Or did I make the only choice I could? I honestly don't know anymore.